So today we're in Saint Vincent and we're gonna go hike up a volcano. The hike's about 5 hours. The volcano actually erupted back in 2021, and so it's gonna be really interesting for us to see, and we're excited to have an opportunity to stretch our legs.
We're in the Soufrière volcano.
Actually, I don't know if that's what it's called. I called it because I can't speak French.
We're just hiking. What is this called? Soufrière. And it exploded in 2021.
And in 1979.
And in 1979.
What's going on, Kara?
Hello, we are hiking up a volcano right now, actually, in Saint Vincent. We got some handy dandy walking sticks with us. I wish I knew the name of the volcano.
Soufrière.
Soufrière. Okay, we're going up Soufrière. Woo!
I saw a huge moth on a rock. I saw a little green anole lizard. Lots of plants, lots of ginger, and lots of big king ferns.
And some scat.
Craziest thing I've ever heard.
How's it going, Charlie?
It's going good. My toe is mangled, and wearing shoes is kind of brutal because we never ever wear shoes. But this hike is really cool. The jungle is very cool. And apparently this bamboo will grow to like up here in like a week.
Oh.
And we saw a couple lizards. And everybody's got walking sticks. Apparently. I missed the memo.
Same.
But they look cool.
We're nearly there. We're about 30 minutes away from the crater, and we're about to come up that lava flow that we saw a little bit earlier, and the final river before the summit. And we've got this glorious weather for walking, lovely and cool breeze. We're just about to enter the clouds as well. Yeah, stay tuned, see you at the top. Where are we, Talia?
We're at the top of the volcano. Woo!
Yeah, we just arrived at the top of the volcano. We're having a bit of lunch, and we're huddled like penguins to shelter from the wind. And because we're a bit cold, and the weather's a bit worse for wear. Now we're going to head back down to Argo. Have a lovely afternoon in the sun.
My sunglasses just got ripped off of my face.
What did you prefer? Uphill or downhill?
Definitely downhill. It's a lot nicer on the legs, but both ways were absolutely stunning. It was unbelievable to get to the top and see that crater in the volcano and just experience that powerful wind with the clouds. It was just unbelievable. And by walking down, you know, it's nice getting a little break and knowing that there's an air-conditioned car waiting for us down there.
So we're just about to go and dive Duvenet Rock just behind me here. We walked up a couple of days ago for the lovely sunset, and now we're going to head underwater and do the advanced open water fish ID course for Isaac and Eli, and then the rest of the crew is coming along. It's more of a fun dive. So hopefully we see some awesome fish. Hopefully the reef is as lovely as it has been so far, and we have a great time. We descended to a grassy bottom, and the advanced open water students set about trying to identify as many fish as they could, and they were not in short supply. The reef here was teeming with tropical fishes, from shoals of damselfish to hard-working cleaner wrasse, and there was even a trumpet fish that's had its rear end bitten off. With the fishes ID'd, we enjoyed the remainder of the dive before surfacing and climbing back into the dinghy. How was the dive, guys?
So good. So much fun.
Awesome fish. Current. There's current.
There was. And we were holding hands to stay close together.
So hey guys, we just welcomed Stefan on board from the Saint Vincent Environmental Fund. It's a local NGO here in Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. And they got projects, or links to projects all around the world, including over to the Mediterranean and down to Barbados. And yeah, he's come on board today to talk to the students a bit about the conservation work they're doing in the marine world, but also in the terrestrial realms, giving them a few tips about getting into the sector of conservation. But yeah, do you want to just say a little bit about what you do as a project? It'd be great.
Yeah, so hi again everyone. My name is Stefan Horsey. I'm the Executive Director of the Saint Vincent and the Grenadines Environment Fund. And I'm here today with Ben and team and crew
Yeah.
on board the
Argo.
Yeah. Beautiful boat. Yeah, with students all learning about sailing and also the environment and the marine space. And I'm really happy to teach young minds about what's necessary for the future of our environment, our protection, because it's in their hands. And our environment, protecting our environment is a global effort that we all have a part to play in. And that's why sailors must know, as global people, to protect it.
Good. Fantastic. And if you were going to give one piece of advice to a young person, what would you give them to kind of how they can better the environment or their conservation impact?
Be infinitely curious, ever passionate, and always ask questions. The best questions get the best answers, and it's going to take the brightest minds and the most interested people to find the solutions we need to protect what we love most.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for coming again. Yeah, brilliant.
Thanks so much.
No worries.
We just had a nice chat from Steven. It was really great to hear his thoughts and hear all that he does for Saint Vincent and their conservation. I feel really motivated to continue doing stuff that helps the environment and looking after our coral and all life in the underwater world. So yeah, it was cool to hear from him.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we remain environmentally conscious and that we think about ways that we can positively impact the underwater world whenever we're doing anything that relates to it. Obviously on this boat, we are diving, making sure that we're being super careful when we dive, not touching the animals. There's just so much that we talked about, and it was really cool to hear how a professional was putting those concepts into practice.
Yeah, learning about like the local threats and how it kind of applies globally and this bigger picture of just how we can be better was very moving. He was also just a great speaker. We love Steven and would love to come back to Saint Vincent.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful place.
It is.
Now we want to keep it as clean as and work towards their goals as well.
Yeah.
Tonight we're bidding farewell to St Vincent and the Grenadines. We've had an action-packed time here since being in Tobago Keys. We've had a classic semester experience. We've had a lot of sail handling, done some diving qualifications, seen lots of cool animals and had some marine biology talks from local organisations as well as some lectures. So after we finish passage prep here, we're going to start making our way up to St Lucia and continue on our journey up to Antigua, our final destination.
We sailed all through the night to St Lucia, covering 70 nautical miles in about 8.5 hours. We first had to sail southeast to get east of Saint Vincent before we could tack and head north up the windward side of the island. After a full night of sailing, we arrived at the foot of the Pitons just in time for sunrise.
We're approaching St. Lucia, and these are the pitons right behind me. They're super cool. Right now we're doing some sail trimming because we're coming kind of close to the island before we anchor near or get on our mooring ball. So we just eased out some of our sails to get some more wind because we're sailing a deeper wind angle. So yeah, it's super cool and I'm excited to be in a new place. It's gonna be awesome.
Smooth compared to the Piton.
Ready, Halyard?
We just arrived here at the foot of Petit Piton after quite a heavy night of sailing. We were beating into the wind for a while and we had quite heavy seas, so we had quite wet watches. But now we're here, we're getting the boat dive ready, we're putting the boat to bed. We've got a few days of island exploration, diving, a few more classes before we carry on heading up towards Dominica in the near future.
So this afternoon here in St. Lucia, we're going to be diving along the base of Petit Piton. It's one of the 2 pitons in the SMMA Marine Conservation Area. We're going to be diving with the SMMA as our guides and operators, but Ben and myself will be the 2 lead divers, the instructors leading the dive. Half of our divers are going to be doing their advanced open water boat dive, their certification dive, where the other half are going to be joining us on a fun dive because they're already pre-certified.
We're going on a tour of the island, which includes a tour of a caldera volcano that exploded and then collapsed some time ago, and the bubbling, sulfur, muddy water that's coming up from the caldera volcano that then flows down a river into these mud baths that we're going to go immerse ourselves in some healing hot water, rub some mud all over our skin, and have a good time.
We're in Soufrière volcanoes right now. We're looking at them bubbling right now. Some of it's coming from the ocean, some of it's coming from just rainwater. They're in a dry season right now, but we're about to take a mud bath in them, or with them, I don't know. But I guess we're about to find out.
Well, so we're all currently soaking in this nice hot water that's coming down the stream from hot water that's bubbling out of a caldera volcano weak spot. And we're soaking in this bath with all this minerals in it to open up our pores before we go over there, like Benny over there, and put the gray mud all over our skin. That's supposed to to have a lot of healing properties.
And muddy.
How about it, Dave?
What's up? Love mud. Yeah. You gotta get your hair back.
Slid all the way from pool 1 down to pool 4. As soon as we found the first slide, it was all over. We've gotten all of the white mud off. Now it's just a little bit of black mud, and we're about to go get a freshwater rinse and continue our tour of Saint Vincent. We're about to go into this waterfall and swim around.
Waterfall. Hello from inside of volcano tower.
Hey, I'm Benny. We're here at these beautiful waterfalls. We started our day at some mud baths, which was really fun. We all covered ourselves in mud, and you know, it was a nice relaxing morning. And now we're here. People are in their Zen states, having a laugh, relaxing. Yeah.
I keep touching Maple's toes in weird ways. The headliner of the party is DJ BA with a feature from Young PP.
Olympus.
It's not Olympus. Okay, well, we just have to do a very light, like L-I-T-E, light passage rap.
We've just slipped the mooring lines at Petit Piton, and we're gonna make our way up the leeward side of St. Lucia before we head up the chain of islands past Martinique to Dominica. Will be our next destination. We hope you've enjoyed following along with our adventures so far. If you're interested in joining us as a student on a future voyage, or just want to learn more about Seamaster, then please visit our website, linked in the description below.